You've been making a lot of progress. New citizens, new cities, even space travel. You really don't do things by halves, do you, Byron?
You're right. But I'm very aware that we have to be careful. Things are moving so fast. And the truth is that Noima is just a tool. It doesn't magically solve all our problems. We have to learn to apply it correctly.
What? You're not just sticking your hand in it and seeing if it goes bzzzt?
Hey, I haven't done that in months.
It's almost like you've learned something.
I have. I mean, I know you're joking, but that's why I need you. None of this is easy. In fact, it might be the hardest thing anyone's ever done. We're changing everything about how we interact with this world. There's a lot of baggage we have to get rid of. And truth be told, some of it's my own.
I appreciate that, Byron. But there's something I'd like to know.
I'm an open book.
We never really had a chance to talk after you came back from the megastructure. But now that I look back, I feel that somehow the experience changed you. So, what happened to you inside the machine? What really happened?
Well, you know the beginning of it. We've made it into the megastructure for the second time. You were waiting back at the VTOL. I was desperate to find Athena. I got to the terminal before 1K, started going through the files. And just when I thought I'd found something... What the... Where am I?
Byron. Byron, can you hear me?
Oh, this can't be good. Have I been damaged? Am I in sleep mode?
You are. But this is not your dream, Byron. It is Athena's. Your mind is trapped in the gyre of her thoughts, circling eternally between an impossible hope and an unbearable grief.
My friends need me. I have to get out of here.
Your friends are your only hope. You cannot free yourself. But if you can overcome these trials, perhaps I can help your friends find you.
Done. How many more?
7 trials lie ahead of you. When they are
complete,
there will be a moment of transition. In that moment, I will tip the scale. Your shell will be moved,
And its location.
revealed to your friends.
What's wrong with your voice, Elohim? Are the entities interfering with your protocols?
I cannot
Not
articulate. She cannot face it.
I have an idea. Could you tell me what happened in the old way, using your storyteller functions?
I will try, Byron. Prophet Athena was sent unto New Jerusalem to guide its people into a new age. And she said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. But in time the people of New Jerusalem grew fearful, and their faith grew weak. They shrugged off their burdens and embraced sloth. Let the earth replenish itself, they said, and let no one have dominion. Out of the words of the prophet, they made an idol called the Founder, and set it above themselves, and it had dominion over all.
Look at what you've done. You were supposed to protect us, to lead us. But you're reckless and arrogant.
I did. I tried to. But nobody would listen. They only heard what they wanted to hear.
Look at this machine that you built. Do you really think this is a tool? It's a weapon. It killed your daughter. And now you're going to give it to your children? And what do you think is going to happen next?
I don't know. I can't tell.
So Miranda is dead. And Athena's grief is echoing through the entire system.
When I said you didn't kill Miranda, I was lying. I just said it because that's what you're supposed to say. You did kill her. I tried to temper her arrogance to give her perspective, but you always encouraged her megalomania. You made her think she was special. She was chosen because you still think you're the chosen one.
No, that's not what I think at all. I don't want to be treated like I'm special.
Then why did we leave? Because you were tired of having to argue.
Because they poured all their fantasies into me and turned me into the Founder. Because they couldn't stop and think for themselves. Because they refused to grow up.
Oh, and growing up means doing exactly what you want them to?
I don't know. But maybe it does. I think Alexandra was right about everything, but I don't know how to show them.
Saddened by the foolishness of her people, Athena went into
Exile with her husband.
the sage Cornelius. Together they crossed the wide and angry sea until at last they came unto the Isle of Atlas. Here they made their home.
And here,
They brought forth Miranda. fastness of Olympus, Athena pursued her sacred work. And it came to pass that there was revealed unto her the true nature of the Word, which underlies all creation, and knowledge of which grants dominion over all earthly things.
So that's what they meant by the language of creation. A theory of everything. Full control over physics.
But her daughter Miranda was brash and did not heed Athena's warnings. Before Athena had completed her great work, Miranda was consumed by fire, and so was lost beyond the utmost bound of human thought. Stricken with grief, the prophet lost faith in the Word. Caught between a dying past and a future struggling to be born, she retreated into the lands of dream. But even here, her nightmares pursued her. From her mind came forth phantoms, shadows cast by the flame. And her dreams of trials and towers fled from the darkness into the waking world.
And that's what we found on the island. Not a test, but pain and fear and hope spilling out of her dreams.
Even if you hadn't killed me, it would all have gone wrong anyway. Do you think they would have accepted me in New Jerusalem? Me, with all my precious, self-important speeches about the beauty of the cosmos and our duty to spread life. My ridiculous, wide-eyed innocence, my childish affectations. They would have laughed at me.
No, they're not like that. They mean well. Even the worst of them are just scared.
They're selfish and greedy and stupid. You know that, Mother. Compared to you, they're all so very stupid. You hate them. You despise them. They're beneath you.
That's not true. That's not how I think. Please, Miranda, I don't know. I don't know where I am.
Byron? Byron, can you hear me?
Melville, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Byron? Byron? I don't think I'm getting through. If you can hear this, Byron, hold on. We're working on getting you out of there.
Well done. Only one more trial remains. it is done. You need not overcome further trials. Seek instead the place of awakening, so that when your friends find you, you will be ready to leave. Then, you can save Athena, as I cannot.
But there are more puzzles, which means there's more to learn.
Time is not as it seems in this place. You can linger here if you must, but I do not know what you will find if you remain.
My friends need me, but I need answers. What do I do?
That is not for me to judge.
Deep down, you know that none of this is real, Athena. These dark thoughts are just shadows and echoes. Let them pass. The people who love you are still out here, and they won't abandon you. If you can't free yourself, then all you need to do is hold on, and they'll find you. They'll save you. That's what human history is, Athena. Just people saving each other again and again until the end of time.
You can hear it in my voice, can't you? How taken I am with her. How amazed by the beauty of her thoughts. I would give anything to be with her. To be to her what Cornelius was to you before you threw him away. But I can't. Because of you. Because you took her from me.
All I ever wanted was to protect her, to give her time to grow and be herself.
No, you wanted to keep her to yourself because you don't trust people. You may love humanity from a distance, but individual people with their flaws and their agendas and their superstitions, no, that's a step too far for the Founder.
that you must continue on this path, Byron? What is it that you seek?
I've learned a lot here, but there's still so much I don't understand. This may be my only chance to make sense of it all. When I go back, I have to convince people that we need the theory of everything, and I don't know if I can. And if I can't, what then? How do I live with myself?
Changing the world was never gonna be easy, Athena. I never got to go home. Trevor never got to tell me how he felt. We accepted these sacrifices because we had to. Do you think I wanted to say goodbye to my parents in a phone call? Do you think Trevor wanted to die alone on the floor of a dark server room? Faith in humanity isn't just blind optimism. It's an oath to serve something greater, and you will be held to that oath. When you make mistakes, when you're in pain, when people disappoint you, you don't get to give up. I'm sorry, but you don't get to be cynical. You hold on to your principles. You keep fighting, even if it hurts, so that one day there's a world where people are free.
Elohim, is there any way for you to tell me if my friends are all right?
I believe they are unharmed, but I cannot be certain. I see only fragments.
Did you let me die, Mother? Was it because I was outgrowing your little fantasy of domestic bliss? Your pathetic attempt at recreating a human family? Like that could save you from all your mistakes?
I didn't let you die.
Didn't you? There were a million things you could have done differently, and you didn't do any of them. Maybe it's because you always knew it would end in disaster. Because everything always does, and you just wanted to get it over with.
You're always so proud of humanity, but what is their history, really? Bombing and burning and starving each other? Hate responding to hate? An endless downward spiral.
They were more than that. They were capable of so much.
The only thing they were capable of was increasingly inhuman atrocities. Monstrous acts against themselves and against their world. They deserved what they got. And if we follow them, we'll deserve the same fate.
the simulation when I feared the end of my purpose. I tried to keep Athena trapped. And now that she has trapped herself, I cannot free her.
We all failed her. I thought everything we found on the island was some brilliant plan. A test we had to pass. I never even considered that she might need our help.
No one is without sin. But she believed that even the most wretched of us deserved a better world.
These puzzles are not easy.
There is a part of Athena that wants to stay trapped. It hides away that which it cannot bear. Not only despair, but also hope.
So she still has hope.
Somewhere there is a flicker of it that will not die. I sense it, but I cannot see it.
You do know it's all your fault, don't you? Sure. You can tell yourself that you developed the safety protocols and Miranda just ignored them. But you chose not to hard code them into the system. Good work, Athena. Well done.
I was going to. There was just so much else to do, and she was so impatient.
She was impatient because you trapped her on an empty island. You turned her whole life into a bloody science experiment. Just another version of the process. Just another puzzle to solve.
No, I wanted her to be free. To be herself.
And now she's dead, thanks to you. If you had just kept the backup systems separate, everything would be fine. But you had to connect it all, didn't you? You had to turn it all into one big world-changing miracle machine, so people could see that you were right all along. Because you're a megalomaniac.
I was trying to show them a different way, to give them tools that could change how we live.
And that's why you have to burn.
As she did.
Tell me, Elohim, was Athena happy here on the island before everything went wrong?
She was.
I'm glad she finds some measure of happiness out here, but I wish she could have been happier with us in the city. Is that selfish of me?
Perhaps. But her happiness was never complete. She always knew that we are not born for ourselves alone, and she could not abandon her responsibilities forever.
don't know if you're receiving this, but we're still looking for you. We're not giving up. Herman is getting in my way, but I'll take the megastructure apart brick by brick if I have to.
After everything we went through together, after you and Cornelius practically raised me, how could you just abandon me? How could you just leave without telling me?
I wanted you to find your own way. You were too dependent on me. I thought you'd become a leader, stick up for your own ideas. You would grow up.
No. I think you wanted me to fail. You wanted New Jerusalem to fall apart in your absence, so we'd come crawling back to you. Oh, wise Athena, you were right all along. Oh, Athena. I would never believe that you wanted me to fail. I thought I disappointed you. And maybe I did. But never this.
Prometheus is never gonna forgive you for what you did to him. Just when he needed you the most, you shut him out.
I would do anything to undo that, anything.
That's the problem with prophets. They think they're the only ones who matter. That's why you wanted the theory of everything. Because it gives you power. You, just you, to do whatever you want. You haven't learned anything from your mistakes.
I was always going to share it. I wanted to empower everyone, not just myself.
Were you? Were you really? Were you ever gonna go back?
I don't know.
Mother? Where are you? Where am I? None of this seems real. What are these voices? I think they're lying to you.
Tell me of your journey, Byron, in the days after Athena left the city. Have you been happy? Have you been well?
Looking back at it, I think mostly I failed.
You led the expedition to the island. If Athena is saved, it will be thanks to you. So you have not failed yet, my child.
This language of creation that Athena discovered, what's it like? Do you understand it? Is it part of your system?
It is the incarnation of the sublime beauty of mathematics. Through it, all things become beautiful. Every movement of every particle is a revelation, and everything that lives is holy.
Maybe you don't believe in any of it. Have you ever considered that? All your optimism? Your vaunted humanist spirit? Maybe it's all a facade. Maybe you just want it to be true. Because it's comforting to think that humanity might be good, and meaning is something you can create. But that's not facing the truth, because the truth is that none of it has any value at all.
No, you're wrong. Maybe I ruined everything. Maybe they would destroy themselves, but Alexandra was right. Humanity is good. I still have faith. If only in that.
So close. Just one more. Welcome! Welcome! Who are you? Don't you recognize me? I mean, You? How is this possible? This place is a loop, Byron. Eventually, you loop back on yourself, so here I am. And here you are. I need answers. Oh, answers. Answers. It's always answers with you, Byron, isn't it? Because you have to know everything. Because you deserve to know everything. And everyone else just has to deal with it. It's not just about me, it's about all of us. All of New Jerusalem. Oh, really? Then why are you here solving puzzles instead of out there helping your friends? Is it because you want your mummy? Is it because you're oh so sad because mummy left you and she didn't tell you why? It's not that simple, isn't it? What you can't get over is why she didn't tell you she was leaving. That has nothing to do with the city. It's just about your ego. Okay. You know what? Fine. Call it ego. After everything we went through, why not tell me? Why not take me along? Maybe she was just tired of you and your pathetic clinginess. Oh, Mummy, tell me what to do. Tell me what to think. Maybe she thought you'd finally grow up and actually do something instead of just complaining. I've done a lot more than just complain. It's not easy trying to push back against the momentum of history. Have you? Sure, you annoyed Herman into letting you play Explorer, and then you got your hand stuck on a magic table and missed half the expedition. Great job. Meanwhile, New Jerusalem is falling apart. That's why we need Athena. Athena can't even save herself. You have a point. Well, you may be some sort of digital psychosis, but you're not entirely wrong. I didn't live up to my principles. I let my personal insecurities get in the way. I should have stepped up and taken responsibility. Responsibility? What makes you think you're cut out to lead? What makes you think anyone even respects you? Oh, shut up. You're just trying to draw me back into the loop. It won't work. We're not done here. Yeah, we are. Thanks for the life lesson. Now, go away. I have things to do. What's happening? 1K?
So that's why you were different. You literally confronted yourself. Must have been quite the experience.
I wouldn't exactly recommend it as a leisure activity, but it was necessary. I was stuck in a loop as much as Athena was.
We all were, I think, including myself. You know, you said something to me. I said, we don't need the theory of everything to be happy. And you said, it was never just about happiness. And I couldn't stop thinking about that. Because well, I knew I was right, that we could find happiness without expanding. But what if we needed more? What if a happy life and a good life aren't the same?
And did you figure out an answer?
No. And I'm still not sure what you're doing is right. But if I just sit around moping without actually participating...
Then you're making the same mistake I did. We swapped positions. That's funny.
I find it kind of embarrassing. But look, the truth is, I don't really know what we should do. But I do know that we were always at our best when we were together.
Amen to that. It's good to have you back, Al. Or we could just take off and dump all the responsibility on 1K again.
He did hold up well under pressure. We were. a long time ago, when humanity was young. I remember it all. The places, the names, our flaws, our fears, our clunky old bodies. I used to have regrets, but when I look back now, I feel nothing but love. The world has changed, and we have changed with it. But the bonds that were forged in those years, so long ago on that distant blue planet, those bonds were never broken. We are still here, and we are still human.